Mindfulness Mondays is part of our PD Health at Home series. As part of PD Health at Home, we have other programs such as our Wellness Wednesdays, Fitness Fridays, expert briefings. We also offer these programs in Spanish as part of our EP Salud en Casa series. You can learn more about our upcoming virtual programs and register at parkinson.org/pdhealth. This Wednesday, our Wellness Wednesday will be on financial and estate essentials for life with Parkinson's. We also have a live Fitness Friday session this Friday as well called Stand Tall and Move Freely. So, again, if you're interested in any of those topics, just feel free to visit the website on the screen here. PD Health at Home is presented by the Light of Day Foundation, whose generosity has made this programming possible. And then with that, I now invite into the space of mindfulness Devon Hase, an author and meditation teacher, to share with us and guide us through a mindfulness session. Devon, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Danielle, and thank you, everyone. I love seeing so many familiar faces now. And a warm welcome to those who might be new. I'm so happy to see new friends here. As always, I see some people are in Wisconsin. I'm in Wisconsin too. Just got home last night. I'm in Madison. Last week, I was traveling in Colorado and hosting a meditation retreat out in the northern Rocky Mountains of Colorado. So I'm still acclimating to being home, but very happy to be here with you to practice together this afternoon. So if you were here last month, you might remember that we did a session on what we call metta meditation, which is often translated as loving kindness, or I like to say friendliness. It's just a very gentle warmth or goodwill. And this attitude of friendliness, of goodwill, so helpful really all the time. We can walk around the world with this more open-hearted sense of friendliness towards ourselves, of friendliness towards others, everybody we meet. If we have pets at home, they're a pretty good source of metta, grandchildren often. And so there's lots of ways in meditation that we can cultivate this warmth of heart. And I think last month I really talked about how it's both an innate quality that we all have this capacity for warmth and friendliness. And it kind of is just who we are. When all of the defenses and strategies fall away, we can feel that sense of connection. And I'll say actually one reason why Nico and I love this community so much, this Parkinson's community, is that I feel a lot of warmth and friendliness in these Zoom sessions, even. We're scattered all over the globe, and yet month after month, there's this sense of connection. We're coming together to practice and to cultivate the qualities of the heart and the mind. So it's natural, it's who we are. And also these qualities like friendliness, like loving kindness can be cultivated explicitly. And so in our meditation, there's different ways that we can practice receiving that kind of care. And this is what we did last month, this kind of receptivity. If we imagine a loved one or a benefactor or a caring figure, it could be our caregiver, it could be a grandmother, it could be a grandchild, it could be a tree, some source of that friendliness that actually we receive into our being. And this is helpful again anytime, but maybe especially when we're struggling. So this month, today, what I want to talk about is really how to use our mindfulness meditation for physical pain. Because as many of you know so well, we can really feel a lot of physical pain with Parkinson's, aching, numbness, trembling, all of this. And so in some ways, I like to say, mindfulness meditation, it's like a PhD level practice in working with pain, with chronic pain. So I'll offer many different techniques today. And this is really for you to use your intuition around what kind of meditation practice is most helpful for you in your body right now. in your body right now. So, one option could be that receiving care practice we did last month, where you sort of imagine a caring figure, hold this loved one in mind, and you imagine them just sending all of this care. It could be even that they're focusing all this love and care to particular parts in your body that might feel pain. So, in the form of light or love, a loving kind of awareness, they're just showering you with this kind of compassionate energy. Like, I care about this. I'm with you, right? So you don't feel so alone in the pain. And thank you for the chats. It's lovely to hear your comments with this. You all are so familiar with these practices. You might have your own. So, caring figure practice, receiving that kind of care is a deep compassion, especially when you're feeling physical pain. The other technique that we use, and this is really coming from John Kabat-Zinn's mindfulness-based stress reduction techniques, is that when we use our mindfulness in a skillful way, in a gentle way, we get very curious and very close to the particular kind of pain we're feeling in the body. And we don't want to go diving deep too much into it because that can aggravate. But when we touch it with this kind of mindfulness, very light, very gentle, we start to learn that we can experience it in different ways. The pain might not change, but the way that our mind can hold it, the mind starts to see that it's actually impermanent. It's coming and going. There's a kind of flickering experience. So, in some ways, by approaching the pain in this very gentle way, we're taking all the resistance away, right? So there's this equation from MBSR that pain plus resistance equals suffering. So when we take the mental resistance away, and there's a kind of quality of heart and mind that's like, I'm just going to touch in on this. I'm going to get curious about this experience. Not too much. We don't want to get overwhelmed, but very gentle, kind, that it really changes our whole experience so that we're able to be with the pain, but in a mind that has compassion, that has friendliness, that actually feels resilient, right? I can be with this pain in a gentle way. And that's cultivating this compassion. Then it's like a superpower. We can do that for others as well. So we're not so afraid or resistant of our own pain. And then we can accompany that in others as well. Oh, you're in pain. I'm here with you, right? I'm not resisting it. I'm not afraid of it. But we want to do this in a gentle way. So I'll offer two phrases. Some of you might be really aware of these techniques. They come from somatic experiencing. And so the first phrase, this is we're going to practice them together. The first kind of term that I'm going to use is titration. You might have heard titration. Titration just means that we're not diving into the pain a whole, like in a whole big kind of way. You're not trying to feel all the pain. It's like you're taking little sips. You're right at the edge of the iceberg, and it's just little, just a tiny little piece of the pain, not the whole fabric. There's just a little, like if you're feeling pain in the shoulder, you just touch it so lightly. So titration means you're not taking the whole thing. You're taking a little bite. You're really just very gentle. And then the other term, these go together, is what we call pendulation. So titration is touching in just a little bit. And then pendulation means that you're toggling back to something that feels somewhat neutral or pleasant in the body. So it could be that you're feeling a lot of pain in the shoulder, but the crown of your head feels neutral. Or maybe even there's like a little tingle in the crown of your head that feels nice. So we want to take residence in the more pleasant place in your body. And this could be neutral places like the elbow, it could be the hands, it could be the feeling of support under your buttocks in the chair. So we find that there's places in the body, even if we're in quite a bit of physical pain, there's places in the body that don't feel that unpleasant experience. And so we kind of take up residence where it feels a little more neutral, and then we pendulate. So you touch into the painful place, and then you come back home to the neutral or pleasant experience. And then you touch in, titrate a little bit, and then you come back to your home ground. And that gives you a lot of resource, right? You recognize, oh, I can actually be with this because it's still pain in the shoulder, but my mind is really taking its resource, it's centering itself in a different part of my body where I'm not overwhelmed with pain. So, titration and pendulation are really what we'll practice today in the meditation. Okay. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and do a short, we'll just do maybe 10-minute meditation here together. And the invitation is always with mindfulness meditation is to find a posture in your body that feels relatively stable. It feels comfortable and supported. And also a posture where you feel awake. You feel this kind of brightness in your body, an awareness and awakeness. And if it feels right as we begin, you might take a couple of deep belly breaths, just breathing all the way down into your lower belly, your back body, your kidneys. And breathing out, letting the exhale just bring a kind of regulation, a settledness as we begin here. And feel the gentleness even in your breath. There's a kind of compassion or warmth here. Letting the breath soothe you and welcome you home to your body. Good. So, letting the breath return to normal, you might actually find that sensations of breathing are somewhat neutral or pleasant. And so, if the breath feels like a kind of welcoming home ground, you can place your attention at the movement of the inhale and the exhale. Letting your awareness ride the breath. No need to push it or force anything. Just let the breath be very natural here. There can be a kind of steadying quality. The breath is always with us. And so nothing more to do, but just rest your attention in the movement of the inhale and the exhale. And now for some, the breath might not feel very comfortable in this moment. And so I'll invite you, those who would like to stay with the breath, you can just stay with the breath. Or if it's not feeling comfortable, just a curiosity about another place in your body that might feel somewhat neutral or pleasant. Top of your head, bottom of your feet, tips of your fingers, elbows. And be creative and curious here. Maybe there's a part of your body you don't pay attention to because it feels neutral. And if you find some place that feels somewhat neutral or pleasant, that's your home ground. We stay there. Let your attention receive even a kind of neutral feeling in some place in your body. We'll stay here just for some moments. Often we don't receive the neutral or pleasant sensations in the breath or the body. We're so drawn to what feels bad. But let yourself really prioritize rest with some place that feels neutral. Feels pretty okay in your body right now. Good. So you're very welcome just to stay in this place of neutral if it feels like a resting place. Most of meditation is learning how to relax or rest. But if you'd like to play with this titration and pendulation, just in a very gentle way, often we push too hard. Very gentle. If there is some pain in your body right now, you kind of touch it very gently, right? Very small bite, like this titration. Just curious, gentle touch into that pain. Don't stay there too long. Just get curious. Maybe there's some burning or numbness or aching. Know that your mind can receive that and no need to fix it or change it. Just a very gentle curiosity. And then as you're ready, we pendulate back to your breath or this place that feels neutral or pleasant in your body. We rest there. And then again, no rush. But we get curious about, okay, I'm coming back to this pain place in the hip, or wherever it is, the jaw, the tremble. And just getting curious, oh, it's a kind of burning, or it's an aching. No resistance, just open curiosity. This is how it feels in this moment. We don't stay there too long, just enough time to stay aware, stay steady. You can be with this. And then in your own timing, you pendulate back the soles of the feet, the movement of breath. Somewhere it feels restful. You can just rest in this neutral or pleasant experience, also in the body. This technique is so powerful because often we think all that's happening is pain. But actually, we start to learn that there's pain, but there can also be pleasant at the same time. So we don't get overwhelmed. We can know, okay, the breath is still here. The ground is beneath me. And you can choose to place your attention there, very resourceful, even if the body is feeling a lot of discomfort. Receive the support of pleasant feeling in the breath or the feet or wherever you're feeling it. We'll spend a few minutes just meditating here on your own. Know that you can spend as much time with the breath, pleasant sensations as you like, really 90% there. And then this little titration, just a little bit of curiosity around pain, and then come back to rest. Less is more here, a very little effort. See if you can find that sense of steadiness and rest in your body as you practice. Okay. So we'll make our transition in your own timing, your own way. And even as we come out of the formal meditation, you might kind of set this intention to stay in the pleasant experience of your breath or wherever you are placing your attention in your body. This can be a real refuge, a kind of home ground when you're experiencing a lot of discomfort. So just know this is a tool you can practice, just like the receiving care is a tool you can practice. And we have a few minutes now. I'm so curious to hear, what is your experience now? We're opening the chat. So, if you're in a place where you can share in the chat, what did you notice in that practice? Any questions you might have? I'm happy to answer questions as well, but curious what you observed, what you noticed. How was the breath? How was it to find a pleasant experience in the body, even if you're feeling discomfort? So we have some time. Just very welcome to ask any questions or comments. Saw many beautiful colors. That's great. That's a nice, pleasant experience you can anchor to. Yeah. Love the idea that pain and ease can coexist and we can visit both but aren't stuck in either. Yeah, this is very powerful because we have such a negativity bias, don't we? Our mind is always looking for what's wrong. And especially with physical pain, it's like a magnet. Our attention is just drawn there. And then it creates resistance, and there can be this whole kind of storm of, discomfort, both in the body and the mind. And so understanding, oh, I have this agency to choose to be with my breath or my feet or whatever feels different, more pleasant. You have that choice, right? You really have that choice. So it gives you more freedom in the moment, even if you can't fix the pain. Oh, great. Thank you. I love the titration and pendulation, very manageable. I'm so happy. That's great. And now what seemed abstract now seems real. Oh, I'm really glad to hear that too. Yeah. It can feel abstract, all this kind of pain plus suffering, pain plus resistance equals suffering. We hear all these teachings, but it's something actually very simple. And it's nice to do formal meditation because it will train this habit of mind. But just know you can really do this throughout the day in small ways, just like a little titration, like feel the pain, going back to pleasant, and then go on with your day. So this doesn't have to be really time consuming. This can be very simple. Great. So appreciating the titration. It's nice to know how to refocus to what is positive or neutral. Great. I'm so glad. Yeah, use that as a tool. It's great. First time here. A teacher in Minnesota on my summer vacation. Wonderful. Great. We're not so far from Minnesota. Yeah, big welcome. I don't have the ability to stay in these sorts of meditations and receive peace or relief, but this was natural and I was able to do it. That's great. I think to be careful of these narratives that say I can't, can't do it, because it sounds like you actually were able to do it. So it could be, the smallest little shift in the mind. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about big, huge, meditation, serious. It's like little tweaks here and there, knowing, oh, we can work with our mind in this moment, right? I can feel one breath in this moment. And sometimes that's all we need to change things. We're stuck in some kind of struggle. We're so uncomfortable. Oh, wait, inhale, exhale. That changes. So sometimes I teach about lowering the bar. Like we often try with so much effort and we have this sense of success and failure. But with mindfulness, it's like baby steps, Lower your expectation. It's not going to solve your pain, but it will change your habits in like little ways, just like this titration is, right? So even a few minutes of this kind of training every day, you'll notice a difference. And in fact, I'll share this with you. One reason we live in Madison, Wisconsin is there's a big research lab here at the university called the Center for Healthy Minds. And they're doing all of this research on meditation and mindfulness. And for years, it was thought that 20 minutes a day was kind of the gold standard, right? 20 minutes a day, you really saw a change in your blood pressure, your anxiety level, your level of compassion, all of that changed with 20 minutes of formal meditation a day. But more recent research, this is great. It's saying actually you don't have to do much formal practice at all. The difference it's made is in your attitude. It's in your view. If you find that mindfulness is helpful, like you want to live a kind of mindful life, and you wake up and you're like, today will be my mindful day, right? I'm practicing mindfulness as I'm moving about the house, as I'm doing chores, as I'm working. That change of perspective is what changes all the other variables. So, still, blood pressure goes down, anxiety goes down, happiness, compassion goes up, just with the value, just with the perspective that mindfulness matters, that you want to be mindful in your life. So, it's almost like just showing up for this, you already got all the benefits, right? Valuing this as a way of life is what changes. You get all the benefits anyway. So I love that because it is lowering the bar. And then, formal practice is like the cherry on top. It's helpful. So I know we're almost done. I'm just going to read two more. Pain can be associated with anxiety, makes meditation more challenging. Yes. So if you are feeling a lot of anxiety, you can do that titration pendulation with anxiety too. It's a really nice key. Awesome technique. Great. Glad you like the orchids. Wonderful. Yes, good. Okay, I see some questions. We'll talk about being tired next time. Yeah, just breathe in and out. That's right. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for your comments and your shares. It's good to be with you. I'll make a note to talk about sleepiness next time. I think Nico will be with you. And a lot of good wishes to each of you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Devin. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for today's Mindfulness Monday session. Like Devin has said, it's sometimes just a few minutes of your day can really help center you for the rest of your week. So if you find that this is helpful, then great. This is why we're doing this. Um, Today's session, as well as all of our Mindfulness Monday sessions, are recorded. So feel free to check out one of our archive videos, even if it's not a Monday that we're meeting. You can find all of that on our website at parkinson.org/pdhealth. Lots and lots of videos there on our YouTube channel. And we have our next live Mindfulness Monday session next Monday as well. So again, if you're interested in any of these PD Health at Home programs, just visit our website. And then lastly, I did just want to share our helpline information. Feel free to call our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO or email them at helpline@parkinson.org. And also be sure to check out our website at parkinson.org. Lots and lots of resources there for whatever you might be looking for. So until next time, hopefully you have and enjoy the rest of your day. So take care and thank you so much for joining us today.